Hey folks, Fernando doing our video for the Modern Survivalists, and in this case we're going to be taking a look at the $16 Leatherman multi-tool, or what their version of such a thing would be. Before I go on, folks, a couple announcements. No, we're not going to be doing the live stream today with Matt. He's busy, so likely next weekend we'll get back to it. Also, subscribe to the channel. I'm close to getting to 60,000 subscribers. That would be awesome. And also share the channel with other people that may be interested or that you think may be woken up by the kind of content I do on this channel. You know, we've seen how the left is pretty busy spreading their message, and we have to do the same thing so as to have a chance. If not, we're kind of done. So do your part, spread the message, try to wake up as much people as possible, and let's get to it. It's not all that terrible for $16, and I'll leave a few links below for these or some of the better alternatives that I think you have there. But for $16, it's not looking all that terrible. I don't know if it's an infringement of any copyright or whatever. It's very close to what a Leatherman would be. Yes, a little bit bigger, but clearly inspired, to say the least, on the Leatherman Sidekick and Wingman, but with a couple differences. So, what is it you're getting for $16? Well, first of all, you're getting a multi-tool, which is already a good start. Then you have a clip, which is something you want to have in a multi-tool. I at least appreciate having one in mind. This is the one I carry all the time. It's a Leatherman Charge TTI, but these go for $200. $16 is a lot more reasonable if you're in a tighter budget. But the thing is, many times I see these multi-tools, and even for $5, they just suck. They're really not good at all. So when I saw this one that was clearly inspired by some of the Leatherman versions, I just gave it a chance. First thing, good news, when you actually open it, it is very much like a Leatherman set of pliers, and it's also spring-loaded, which makes it use a lot easier. It's actually nicer to have spring-loaded pliers and not having them like I have here in my $200 Charge. These just are not spring-loaded, so you actually have to take care of that yourself. Here they are spring-loaded, but the same happens with the Sidekick and the Wingman. These are also spring-loaded. That makes life a little bit easier when you're really working your pliers. That just is more convenient. You have a wire cutter or nail cutter here, which seems to be made of a different steel, but yeah, it's not perfectly aligned. Keep in mind the price, so you don't have the kind of alignment you have in a Leatherman. This one is pretty good. This one, $16, not so much. Then the second good thing that you have here is, and this is, I'll try leaving the link if I find it, but I'm not keeping my hopes up. This is AU River, whatever brand that is. Now the second thing that I like is, well, besides having the clip and you have a decent set of pliers there, is you have a knife that's single-handed opening. So you can single-handed open the knife, and you have actually a pretty decent blade, even comparing it to somewhat of a similar version of your Leatherman. So all of this pretty good. It's even, yeah, it's bigger, and it's actually sharp. I was just testing this right now, and yeah, you do have, you know, yeah, it cuts. It could be a little bit better, but man, I'm not, for the money, I'm not complaining at all for this blade. This blade is actually quite nice, especially, again, $16. Another one that I saw, Amazon Basics multi-tool, kind of like this one. I couldn't find it yet. As soon as I get my hands on it, I'll do a review. But that one is like $15. That's even cheaper. I'll leave the link for that one there as well if you want to check that out. Maybe better than this one since it has no brand whatsoever. Now, starting with the bad stuff. Yes, we can open this single-handed, and it's quite decent, and you have a clip. So all of that is maybe some of the more important things I want to have in this kind of multi-tool, at least the way I go about it. I think that having a multi-tool is essential. Any prepper, any survivalist, you should have a decent multi-tool with you at all times. I see that a lot of people just can't be bothered with that sort of thing. They will have like a pocket knife, a folder. They will not have a multi-tool. I think that the multi-tool is essential, especially something that doubles also like a decent pocket knife. Bad part is, you see how this is not nearly as available as it is in our tools. For example, here, if I open this single-handed, I have good access so as to unlock it. I just press it there, single-handed, close it again. I try to do that here, and no such luck. This is just too covered, just not exposed enough so as for me to do that single-handed. I can kind of get part of my nail there, and only then, but man, that's such a big design flaw, even for the cheapest Chinese manufacturer. Dude, just make this a little bit deeper, or just make that a little bit larger, and if you just cut it at just a couple millimeters more, I would have enough so as to depress that, and it would make such a big difference. Having said that, with a Dremel tool, I can eat up that myself, just work that a little bit, and I would have that pretty much sorted out myself. But it's a shame that they haven't taken care of that from the start. Then you have, on the other side, you have a saw, which is not as easily accessed. And here is where we start seeing the differences between a 40, 50 buck tool like the actual Leatherman and the knockoff. You have to use your hand because it just doesn't open single-handed. It's just not smooth enough so as to do that. You have these screws that you can maybe loosen a little bit, but you see those plastic liners, this is not going to be very durable on the long run. Those plastic liners will break very fast, and the saw is not all that great. It just gets caught a lot. It's just not as good as a saw as you have in the Leatherman tools. So yeah, and the same thing here, the same problems as to close it single-handed, just a design problem. Maybe the most surprising thing for me was seeing that you have a couple of single-handed opening tools, it would seem, but when you actually try to open it, there's really nothing there. It's like a second layer of a fake single-handed tool that it just accesses nothing. You think this is a tool, and when you go for it, there's nothing there. And when you open this up, and man, it is got a little bit harder there. When you open this, there's nothing there. It's just another piece of metal that's just underneath this one. There's just no other tool here, just a fake slot that just confuses you and just doesn't make a whole lot of sense at all. Then in terms of the other tools that you have a decent enough can opener, wire stripper, that's okay, and you have it there, man. There's you have that in the tool. You have a file that is all but useless, just doesn't work for anything, especially being so short, just not good at all. The one you have in the Leatherman is also pretty bad because it is the more budget-oriented version, but it's a little bit longer and somewhat usable. Could be. Here, nah, man, this is just no good. If you have something so as to scratch, maybe take the burrs off of something you're working on, but other than that, just not useful at all. And then finally, this one you access quite easily there with that thing there. You have a screwdriver and cap lifter, typical of your Victorinox. So this is a tried and true proven tool. Yeah, it's going to be working nicely, and it's pretty solid as a screwdriver and cap lifter. And the nice thing about these is you access these without having to open the tool. Yet the bad part is they don't lock. This one, since I have to open it so as to access those tools, once I close it, that's working like a safety of some kind. Not gonna be getting my hand caught there. Here, since I access it from the outside, these can close on over my fingers quite easily. And this other side, I have like an owl, which is hard to access and not sharp at all, and is pretty bad. But you have one there. You have a kind of like a lanyard, which I don't know the purpose of this, especially wasting so much space with something that could have been a decent tool, could be placed there, but no, I have that lanyard there. And then I have a very hard to reach, without busting all your nails, Phillips screwdriver. The shape of the Phillips screwdriver is quite decent. They copied this one straight out of Victorinox, and it's a good design, so I know it works well. So other than that, yeah, no complaints there. But mostly the owl could be a lot better. The file thing is just just a joke. This is not good at all. And those fake tools that kind of confuse you, and the single-handed opening tools are not easy to close at all. Now, are you getting enough tool for 16 bucks? I think you are. I think you're getting your 16 bucks worth of knockoff Chinese version of a Leatherman multi-tool. Would I like to have this in my pocket as my main tool? If I don't have anything else, I would probably, yeah. If it's either this or nothing, yeah. Honestly, I would make a little bit of an effort so as to at the very least access something like the Leatherman Wingman or the Leatherman Sidekick. Specifically the Sidekick, which has the saw instead of the scissors. I have it in some kit somewhere right now. So that one would be the one I would go for. That's the one I'm going to be leaving the links for. So I leave the links for the one made by Amazon Basics, which seems to be a little bit better than this one. And I leave the links for the Sidekick, which I think it goes like for 40 bucks, give or take. Make a little bit of an effort, get yourself a proper Leatherman multi-tool. Even better, go for the actual Wave, which is maybe the best one you can have for the money. It's the best value, I think. This is probably your best value. This is the best one you can have for the money, other than going straight out for the Leatherman Charge, which has a titanium handle, all that stuff, which for some people, you know, I'll leave the link for this one as well. If you just want to go top of the line, that would be the Charge. Wave is pretty much the same thing, except some little luxury things like the titanium handle. Yeah, here is just folded metal, a little bit nicer steel on your blade. But this is by all means your best bet. If you cannot go for this because of the price, you are very well served by the Sidekick. Or some people that really love scissors, in that case, that's the Leatherman for you. Folks, remember there's my books available in Amazon. The Spanish version of Street Survival Skills called Manual de Supervivencia Urbana. It is the #1 selling survival books in Amazon.es. So people are loving it in Spanish. Thank you very much, folks, in my Spanish channel. Almost 100,000 followers in my Spanish channel, Supervivencia Moderna, if you want to check it out. Links for all of that there. But for you folks, Street Survival Skills is the one that I recommend, giving everything that you're seeing right now, the streets across many parts of the United States. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this little video. Share it with people that may appreciate it. See you on the next one. Have a great day.